I first ran into Anthony when we started our Camp Inspiration, our camp for children that require respiratory support or ventilator dependent children.
The missions at HH is to really give the kids the freedom and the abilities to do things that they'll never ever do. And Anthony always has been pulled by gravity, always, if you think about it, his whole life. He's never really not been above gravity, other than mom picking him up from the wheelchair to the bed. So the thought was, let's try to get some of these kids on the high ropes, on the giant swing, and let them experience that air coming in their face and the feeling of swinging and the feeling of gravity altered.
We're going to do the ropes course today. We're going to get the kids up in the swing. I'm like, Tim, what do you mean? You're going to hook them up to a chair with their vent and up in the air? And he's like, yep.
When Anthony was first talked about going in the swing, he was excited about it. I was kind of nervous, but I had faith in HH.
Being a respiratory therapist and a scientist, it was a little spooky watching up in the air because we did have to affix the ventilator to the chair, and we did have to do a lot of stuff with the tubing that would come for that to his tracheostomy. And we wanted to make sure we minimized any stress. There was no stress, so something was going to become disconnected or pulled loose. So that first time of getting him up in the chair, after a bunch of dry runs with some skinny nurses squeezed into the chair, we did it with Anthony.
Sort of brainstormed for a while as to how to safely get these children that very often have decreased muscle tone, can't walk, can't move very well, and at the same time are hooked up to ventilators, brainstormed about how to get them up into the giant swing at the ropes course.
Oh, he's a brave kid, let's put it that way. And he stepped right up and his mom says, let's go for it. Our first volunteer being Anthony.
Anthony, go!
He was not nervous. He's a pretty adventurous kid, I guess you could say. He's not really afraid of too much. He's willing to try anything, you know, and I think with him, this way he's even though he's the first, he likes it because then he can say, you know, show other kids that this can be done even though you're on a vent.
Syra and Tiamani, both vent-dependent children. Syra said that it was like touching heaven. She couldn't describe the feeling, she just said it was like touching heaven when we asked her how it was. And it's just amazing. And it's amazing all the volunteers up here at Hole in the Woods that make it happen for those kids, because it's truly a team of people that give these kids that experience.
And Anthony, because he's an adventurous little guy, he was the first one we had on the swing when we did that, and he loved that. And we thought he would be an ideal person to get involved in the ski program if we could. And we knew we had all this adaptive equipment here, and we said with some work and some thought, we could probably safely modify everything to support him adequately in a chair, have his ventilator hooked up, and have the proper personnel here to take care of him should anything go wrong.
We talked about this since the get-go, since we started Camp Inspiration actually, about trying skiing.
Well, they talked about the skiing for a long time, so when they approached me, you know, I asked Anthony, you know, and he's 13 now, he can make his own mind up, and he was, you know, I'll go for it. So I said, it's your decision if you want to do it. So he wanted to go skiing.
So we had pulled some nurses together and some respiratory therapists and some physicians, and you have the awesome ski patrol here.
There's a lot of different things that we had to do with Anthony, being that he's on a ventilator. This is the first time we've ever done this, and we're not really sure if anybody else has ever done it. So we just wanted to make sure we thought of every possible scenario.
We did a test run about 3 weeks ago where we used a nurse similar weight to Anthony, and we just simulated absolutely everything: crashes, disconnects, stopping midway, everything that could possibly go wrong. We got together and simulated it for today, and nothing's gone wrong so far, so that's wonderful.
That's just another pretty face there, right? I'm going to tell you.
Make sure those things stay.
Anthony, are you okay? Okay, you good? It'll be out of at the end.
Hey, you didn't know you were going up my sled dog, did you? You're going up my
team there,
sled
pal.
dog.
Are you ready for this? Yeah, okay.
I thought it was great to have everybody down at the bottom cheering and clapping for Anthony. He had to love that. I looked over his shoulder, and you can tell I asked if he had fun, and he can move his mouth. Yes, yes, yes. So he had fun, and that's why we put in all the time for today, was to make Anthony happy. That's why we're all here.
Yeah, was it fun? Was it fun? Yeah. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, all right.
Nice.
Was that cool?
Well, we've taken baby steps, but I think what we've been able to demonstrate, particularly today, is the creativity and ingenuity of the people involved in this program.
And it was just a tremendous feeling, I think, for the entire staff at the Double H, not just for me.
It was exhilarating.
For me to see these children out in the air and in the sun and having fun and being able to move the way they can't move on their own, he's bound to a wheelchair, as are most of these children, was just a great feeling. I mean, a lot of work went into it, but it paid off in the end. And not for us so much, but for Anthony, who had a great time. I mean, it paid off for us too, in the sense that there's a tremendous feeling of satisfaction knowing that we were able to do this, and hopefully in the future expand this to other children now.
Whenever I leave Double H, I honestly think sometimes I get more out of it than the kids, because it's a great place to come and, as I say, get out of your own head. We all have our own problems in life, but we realize they're not really problems. When you come here, you see a little kid who may not be able to have the life that we had, but yet they're here smiling and laughing. And to me, that's what life's all about. If you're not smiling and laughing, then you're missing out on a lot.